Okay, alright, it's been a while since I made a recording, so here I am doing it. It's been hard. The last 2 weeks I got really sick, and I was working at a different place, and it was a lot of stuff. It was just a lot, and I totally just kind of crashed a little bit. But making this video to kind of just come back and show that I'm still here, even though I don't feel like it. Totally getting, that spot where you sometimes just want to disappear because life's hard. Such is the burden of ambition. But yeah, I totally was in that spot. And I didn't want to make this video, or even a video, but I realized it hadn't been a while, and I think sometimes when you think specifically of something you don't want to do, that's an indicator of something you need to do. But not all the time. Sometimes you don't want to do something because you don't want to do it, and you shouldn't do it. But yeah, this is different. I think a lot of it's just looking at the results, So I'm out here kind of, I'm doing a little work for this company, make some extra money, and I'm actually knocking on doors. And it's been hard. I used to be really good at it, a lot of energy, and just haven't lately. I've been knocking for 2.5 hours, and I remember before, I usually get, some response, but I've just been dead. Getting a lot of no's and a lot of people not home, and it's just one of those really bummy days. And it's felt like, I don't know why, because there's been a lot of good things that have been happening. I've just been haven't been able to get out of my head. And so, it's not easy. And I think maintaining the habits and the things that are good. And so I kind of this thought came to me the other day, though. Sometimes I realize, as important as your feelings are, if you're doing the things that are correct, sometimes it really doesn't matter how you feel. And I know that sounds really cold and mean, and I don't necessarily think you should push through crap when things feel bad. But I think sometimes you just push through enough, just enough, where you can get a result. And then once you get that result, that's when you give yourself a finish line. Like you say, you know what, I feel crappy, I don't want to do this. But don't quit that first time you say it to yourself, It's like when you see something you want to buy, but you're not sure if you need it. Ask yourself, do I really want to buy this? And then give yourself a week. If you still want to buy it, okay, I still want to buy it in a week. Then you go and buy it. But if after a week you're like, oh, that was just an impulse of the moment and I didn't really care for it, then, you did that. I actually did that in the store today where I wanted to buy some stuff at impulse, and then I thought, oh, do I really want this? And then I put it back. I think it can happen in reverse for your negative emotions. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I feel like I want to die and quit. And it's like, all right. So maybe that's an indicator that something needs to change. Or maybe it's just, you're feeling kind of crappy, right? So give it a week. Give it 2 weeks. I don't know, whatever you're doing. And then give yourself long enough to decide, okay, no, this pain and this feeling is there for a reason. And I need to take care of that reason versus just, oh, this is crappy, and it's just a crappy time, and I just feel crappy. And I'm trying to get better at that, and I think that's what I've decided, because I think too often I either ignore the pain entirely or I don't acknowledge it, and maybe that's the happy medium, is okay, acknowledge the fact that you're feeling crappy, but then just don't give in to that right away, push through and do something, and then if the feeling changes, okay, that was just a slump. And, being able to work through their slumps. And I think this is more of a slump than anything, because circumstantially things are just kind of what they've always been, So there's no reason I should be feeling it. I think just sometimes, you just get down, because, it's hard. And when it's hard and you have to go through those cycles, you just go through the cycle, and I'm thinking just feeling bad and that kind of depressive mind state, I don't think that's separate from the human experience. And I think too often times we look at it as a broken arm, when I think it's less like a broken arm and more like an emotional bowel movement. Yeah, that's what it is. I think sometimes depression is just an emotional bowel movement, and you don't want to do it. If I could live my life and not have to poop, how nice would that be? But you know what? Sometimes it's not really about not pooping. It's just how you clean it up and you manage the shit, manage the crap. Excuse my French. And so yeah, it's just kind of how you manage the crap and figure out how to make your own emotional indoor plumbing and speed up that process so you can move on to bigger, more important things. But that's my thought today for Year of Fear. I guess we're on like day 15 or whatever. I'll just say day 15. I skipped a bunch of days, but it's the 16th of January, so let's just keep going from there. All right? See you guys and hope all is well.